Great to have you here in the pop-up studio.
Thank you.
Excited to have a chance to chat with you. So let's start by having you share a few words about the work that you do and who you are for the folks who are watching.
Okay, my name is Erick Ngwiri. I'm the Director for Global Data Analytics at CRS. My work is focused on helping the agency to use data to inform decisions, both programmatically and on the operational side. That's what I live for every day. I really enjoy the programmatic side because that's my background, but I'm really enjoying just kind of working through with data and using that. And of course, AI now.
Okay. Well, I want to dig in more there, but first I want to say you and your country office team here at CRS were really instrumental in helping to bring this ICT4D conference 2026 to the country. We're now on day 3. What are some of the impressions that you've had? What are those highlights that have stood out to you over the past few days of our being able to convene in this great country?
First, I'm really impressed and excited about the turnout, especially from like people in Kenya and around the region. It's very refreshing and nice to go to an international conference and kind of see the local representation. I'm really excited about that. Some of the content was actually a lot of the content I really appreciated the sort of implementation angle, the real challenges, the real problems, and what it takes to actually implement technology. So that was really great.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. And I think that's the important conversation. Like, how difficult is it? And what are the things that you have to overcome to actually get to the root of the issue? And I really enjoyed that. That was quite great.
Any sessions or topics that really stood out, even even within implementation?
Yeah, so one of the ones that I really enjoyed the most was a data decolonization one.
Yeah, that was powerful.
That was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the DPI conversation because that's something I've worked on for quite a while in looking at how do you build data public infrastructure and what are the sort of barriers to kind of building it out and using it, working with governments and things like that. Well, and plenty of other aspects.
Well, look, I think you have a hard job. So I would love to know from you, what are some of the most interesting, thorny challenges that you're up against right now in your work? Is it stuff related to AI? Is it interoperability? What's standing out to you as keeping you up at night or something you're really wrestling with?
Well, I'm co-lead on a program called Analytics for Impact.
Okay.
Which is basically we are taking 6 or 7 use cases and it's a privately funded initiative within TRS. And the idea behind it is to advance or sort of build out advanced capability for advanced analytics and AI. Well, advanced analytics initially, but then obviously AI is part of that. And we picked 6 or 7 use cases and kind of walked through each one of them, trying to apply these techniques.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that's been really interesting. It's challenging. It's complicated.
What's hard about it? Just getting the indicators right, trying to tell us more.
Well, I think the one thing I'll pick out is we are talking about advanced techniques and pieces of technology, and you have an education component to that. We have to teach people about sort of new ways of doing things.
Very hard.
Machine learning.
Sure, behavior change pieces.
Change management. And so being at the center of looking at how are we going to apply these new techniques to a problem just in itself is challenging, but then how do you educate people to understand what we're trying to do and to trust what we're trying to do?
Yeah.
And also part of that is also building data governance, which is a big part of my job. So quality of data.
Yeah, almost the harder part from the tech itself, getting the tech to work is the governance piece. Well, so what's getting you fired up and excited as we head into June 2026 here? What's the most exciting aspect of your work right now?
It sounds cliche, but I'm really excited about what generative AI can do.
Okay.
AI in general, but generative AI. And I think one of the things that we've been trying to think about is how do we use some of these techniques to ease the burden for some of our operational challenges. So, for example, can we start to look at how having conversations with data, right? So can teams be able to access information about finances or about fundraising and all these other things, making it more accessible to our teams, both in the locally and across the countries, and being able to actually respond to data in that way. So that's something I'm really excited about. If we can make it happen, I think people being able to ask questions of the information that's available internally, it's going to be a really great.
So powerful. I know a lot of these organizations, especially larger ones like yourselves, are trying to wrestle with this. How do you build that data literacy up to the point where folks can get value out of it? How do you incentivize them to use it?
Yeah.
And then create the interfaces and the architecture so that it's actually useful?
I'm glad you said that,
Yeah.
because we've just launched what's called a data learning hub. So data culture is a big part of what we've been trying to do. And that initiative actually has 3 components. We've got a data assessment.
Okay.
So we're providing an avenue for people around the world to just do a quick assessment and see where they are in the data
Interesting.
space.
Yeah.
And then based on that, you can also take like courses that we've kind of built out around data learning and that agenda. And so that's aimed at empowering our teams and people in the organization to take a step towards the data journey and understanding how to use data. And hopefully that having those resources and sort of building that out will also empower them to
It's
continue
amazing.
using data. Yeah.
Well, look, we wish you tremendous luck and success in the work that you're doing. It's so important.
Thank you.
And we hope you have a great rest of the conference. And we thank you for joining us in the pop-up studio.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it,
I appreciate
Erick.
it. Thank you for
Okay.
having me. Yeah.
Absolutely.